It is April 1st, 2020. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Justin LaBar tonight for a very special edition of the Wednesday Night Wars coverage as we talk about AEW Dynamite, NXT on USA, and we are donating 100% of our cut of the YouTube Super Chats tonight is being donated to Culture City. So please be generous. You guys are always amazing with the live Super Chats and contributing to the show. But tonight, with the approval of Raj Giri, everything we get from YouTube is going to Culture City. And Matt, I know you have a personal connection to Culture City, but this is in honor of World Autism Awareness Day, which is tomorrow. Could you talk just a little bit about what Culture City does and why they're such a great organization?
Culture City is a nonprofit organization. You wrestling fans watching this, you've seen a little bit of them from AEW. Especially when AEW first started, which is really impressive. And that was introducing Culture City to a big portion of our wrestling community. But worldwide, Culture City has been in the autism game, making sure that they go out to different venues, arenas, stadiums, anywhere there's like a public gathering or public place in general. A lot of times it's sporting events as well. Zoos even.
Wow.
To provide sensory inclusive rooms. So let's say you're at an Orlando Magic game here, and my son Jackson starts really going bananas on us because it's process. His processing overload, in which all the people making all that noise is way too much for him. It's like times a million sometimes the way the sounds hit his ears versus other people, right? Or sometimes it's just the sight of it all, right? The pyro going off, the lights, all that stuff. And it's too much for him to handle when at first he was having a good time. So you're able to go into like a sensory inclusive room, which gets these kids and adults as well centered again. And it centers their sensory setup, if you will. And it makes them be able to enjoy the game in that setting, right? And it calms them back down and it centers them. Zoos, for instance, they'll give out these bags that will give out noise-canceling headphones. You know, we were able to go to the zoo for the first time since Jackson was born without him having a meltdown and us having to turn around and leave 5 minutes into it and say, well, we tried. We were able to get through an entire zoo visit, him getting to discover animals he's never seen in his life except for on cartoons, live and in person, because of the bags they give out to families like ours with children with autism with those noise-canceling headphones. So they do a lot.
No, absolutely. And it was talked about tonight in AEW Dynamite. They're also taking some strides to help families during this coronavirus crisis. Matt, I'm sure as you know, firsthand, just what this disruption in routine does for anyone on the autism spectrum. Routine is such an important part of their lives. Mm-hmm. And a lot of parents are having a very hard time right now acclimating their special needs children to this current situation we're living in.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head.
Yeah. Aaron Baker with the $5 super chat. No message, just a donation. That's classy.
Thank you
for kicking us off classy tonight. Jay Lane, $2. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all hanging in there. And if anyone's watching this on delay and you can't get it on the super chat, you can also go to culturecity.org/donate. That's KULTURE city.org/donate. We'll plug that again throughout the show, but keep those super chats coming. It's going to be a fun night tonight. And Matt, I know it's been a heck of a week. I know you're dealing with a lot in Longwood. Justin, a lot of wrestling tonight. It is still WrestleMania week. We're going to stay on topic tonight, but as you guys know, you toss the money at us and we dance. So feel free to hit us with random questions tonight, some off-topic segues. Let's have a good time in the midst of everything else that's going on in the world. Talk about wrestling and have a good, solid, distracting conversation here tonight and raise some money for Culture City in the process. Matt, what did you think of AEW Dynamite tonight?
I thought it was good. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm being a stickler here, but I couldn't take my eyes off of, at times, the fact that they weren't social distancing with the kids, the ones that were watching this show. They were right there on top of one another. Oh, Matt, come on. There's only 6 or 8 of them. Okay. I've said this 1,009 times. Pro wrestlers are role models. They're superheroes. They have an opportunity to lead the way. And I thought AEW's done a good job of doing that, more than WWE, as far as how to produce a show, make it look different, give it an aesthetically different feel, dealing with not having fans in an arena. And they've done a great job with that. But I just thought that if, to me, maybe because I'm a mayor of a city and that's all I look around and look for is people breaking social distancing to see if I see that or not. Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. I just know that I could not take my eyes off of that. I could not unsee people standing right next to one another out along the guardrails there that were acting as fake fans for each match. But the noise did help each match for what it's worth. I just don't know if I would have done that without like going above and beyond the pale to show that they are social distancing. And you at home watching this should be doing the damn same.
Yeah, I mean, Justin, what do you think? For you, is it more escapism, or is that too real in the face of everything that we're dealing with right now?
You know, I try not to think about what's going on. I try to let these 2 hours be an escape, but it's hard to avoid. Like I'm not a mayor like Matt is, but I mean, we're surrounded in it right now. I mean, you can't watch anything on the news without seeing it. So I did chuckle to myself, or maybe I rolled my eyes too, that. The opening match, the best friends come out and they do the elbow dab to Billy Gunn and his son, which that has replaced behind the scenes right now the workers' handshake because they don't want to be shaking hands. But it's like it's weird. It's like you're doing an elbow dab, but then you're getting in the ring and you're locking up and rolling around with each other. I don't know. It to the point of
that too.
It's just they took more precautions this time around, having the talent act as fans. They did have some distance between them versus when they were at Daly's place a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's still. And in theory, the whole show shouldn't be happening, but I mean, they are there trying to provide us something to escape from, trying to provide us entertainment. So I don't want to knock them on that motive, but at the same point, when is enough?
Yeah, it's tough. Quickly, Phil with the $20 Canadian donation saying, I just want to thank you guys for entertaining us during this dark time, especially Matt, who runs the city. Can't imagine what that's like. Love the Culture City as well, and I hope arenas in Canada get them. Absolutely. Brad Stevens saying, $9.99. Thanks again for helping out a great charity. Also, FYI, a lot of the recaps tonight, but you guys are the best. Okay, I'm not sure about that part. David at 3X, $5. You guys are awesome. Justin Lopez, $9.99 donation. Wow, this is great. Darian Moore, $10 donation.
Thank you.
Wow, we're almost up to $100 already, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, this is fantastic. You guys are truly, sincerely awesome. Ramon Odisho saying, I don't always support podcasts, but when I do, I support you guys real quick. My OCD is kicking in. Glenn, can you please wear a forward-facing hat? I was looking for one before the show, and I could not find it. Nothing would make me happier than to put one on right now, but I could not find the one that's somewhere buried behind me in this office that this green screen is hiding.
The one.
Yes. And I'll let you. Now I'll save it as a surprise for when I find it. Louis 13, $1.99. Marcus Stunt should not be taking those bumps. Yikes. We'll talk about that. Yeah. I mean, so it's tough. And Matt, to your point, we do get on WWE about this and looking at, what they're doing and how irresponsible it is. The roster is going to catch this. It's going to spread throughout the locker room. And I think you're right that just from the perspective of a pure fan, yes, well, it's great to have more wrestlers there. At the same time, the more risks they take, the more it puts a question mark on their ability to keep doing these shows.
Yeah. All it takes is one to catch this. Now, do they go home? They're not all like quarantined together for there's weeks on end, are they?
I'm sure they pre-taped a bunch of stuff over a couple days. That's how you would do it, right?
I don't know how I do it. Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm just thinking they go back home and they go back to their loved ones and families. And let's just call a spade a spade. Not every single one of them. All it takes is one. It could take one trip to a supermarket.
Oh, I mean, it was less than 3 weeks ago. Let's not forget, members of the WWE roster were saying last night at Disney World, like posting photos of them hanging out and partying. I mean, that, and at the time, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but that's the stuff that terrifies me. Is when you look at that situation, because you're right, all it takes is one person and it spreads to the entire locker room. And this is still early days. So I'm sure they're taking some precautionary steps, at least as far as sequestering them together while they're filming.
Well, yesterday and today they did the filming. AEW did the filming of what we saw tonight and what we're going to see for the next 2 weeks. So by my understanding, by tomorrow they will have everything for the next 2 weeks in the can. And after that 2 weeks, if you notice, everything they've promoted has been within the next 2 weeks. It's been the tournament. It's been Moxley versus Hager. I think after that 2 weeks, I think they're going to do a reevaluation to see where are we at in the world. Can we continue doing this? Same thing with WWE. WWE has Raw, NXT, and SmackDown next week. The Raw, NXT, and SmackDown after Mania. They have it already in the can, but depending on, again, with now Florida being shut down even more and what have you, WWE might end up having to finally go dark. They might have to finally take the break that they've been avoiding. So the next 7 days, what we talk about in 7 days from now could be wildly different.
How did today's stay at home from Governor DeSantis of Florida, how would that affect? Oh, because Mania's already filmed itself, right?
Mania's already filmed.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
WWE's filmed everything, and then if it looks like if it looks like WWE's not going to be able to get back into Florida to do more stuff in the PC, then it's very possible we could see them strictly go to a Stanford studio kind of show for the time being.
Okay.
I mean, it's crazy to think about, and I know you guys are seeing this too. We've already seen celebrities, people we know, or we know their work or their art, who have passed away or been severely hospitalized become of this. I think it's not naive. I'm going to say it's just not ignorant. It's foolish and stupid for any professional wrestling company to somehow think that they're immune to this. And if not the talent, the people working behind the scenes who are there, you still have crew there. I mean, it's very sad that in a number of weeks, and we're all watching the news and the press conferences and looking at these projected 6-figure numbers of casualties. It's crazy. I mean, we're all going to be so touched by this. Casualties are almost going to lose their meaning at a certain point. And I as fans, I worry about the locker room. But yeah, Matt, to your point, the more I think about it, it does make me very uncomfortable to see them breaking, just some common sense precautions.
Yeah, especially again with the wrestlers around the ring tonight. It was more tonight than it was with any other their tapings. Actually, go back and watch the main event match, that tag match. You could see them all lined up outside the guard railing there.
Yeah.
And they're in a smaller space tonight. AEW's in the smallest space they've ever been. So it actually looked good. It looked intimate. It still looked like it had production value. It didn't look cheap.
That part did.
It kind of reminded me of WCW Saturday Night. But yeah, I mean, it's a tight space they were using tonight.
I couldn't take my eyes off it when Cody went to go give his wife a kiss, and I saw an entire row of all of the baby faces that were there out there to cheer. I was like, holy crap! There's 8 of them, 9 of them.
Yeah.
Like we're telling people you can't have groups larger than 10.
Yeah. And
6 feet apart from each other. Both of those two things were not true.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is me being like a real stickler hard ass here, Matt. It's like I almost feel it's unfair to say AEW had a better show if they're not going to play by the rules. You know what I mean? It's like if you're in a
think WWE would like to throw 20 of its,
Absolutely.
Fellow wrestlers out there to make noise. They haven't done it. I don't know why they haven't thrown 1 or 2 out there at least. I don't know.
And AEW has the luxury of not having to answer to investors. They have the luxury of not being a public company like WWE is.
It's a little weird.
Very true. It's very true.
Man, now I'm a little more torn on my praise for AEW. At least for this programming.
It is good that AEW did not publicly reveal where they were doing the tapings. On the context of not wanting fans to flock there for autographs and wait outside and such. That was smart by them.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Carolyn with a $20 donation. Thank you, Glenn, Matt, and Justin, for making this happen, donating to an organization that helps folks like my brother. That's awesome, Carolyn. Thank you for that donation. We've got some other ones coming in. Oh man, in fact, and they're scrolling away. I apologize for this because you guys are just doing such an awesome job. Gary Adams, $4.99, best wrestling podcast, hands down. Keep up the great work. Jackson Callan's $9.99. Thanks to you guys for doing this. Zaw3607, good AEW show tonight. Thanks for doing this, guys. Man, this is crazy. Fethdar, $5. I struggle with watching elaborate ring entrances and turnbuckle poses. Knowing there's nobody in the crowd to turn to. I agree. It does get a little ridiculous. Ebony Washington, $10. Thank you for all you guys do. You're awesome. Happy to contribute. Thank you, Ebony.
Thank you.
James Shack's $2. I love you, Matt Morgan. Have my babies. Not sure how that would work, but I appreciate you thinking outside the box. Wow. Yeah, you guys are really, really. Oh, wow. Okay. So we got some big ones here. Well, Chris Jones, AEW should do an entire show vignettes like being the elite. I agree.
Mhm.
Zaw, again, thanks for doing this. And then Dan, $50. Random question. But do you guys have a favorite pay-per-view outside the top 4? Appreciate the charity night. Great to see positive things during such strange times. Dan, wow.
Do I have a favorite First of all, thank you. Do I have a favorite pay-per-view outside of the main 4?
I do. Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank.
Oh, damn it. Yes.
I think money. Honestly, I think Survivor Series is an outdated concept. I think Money in the Bank should be elevated into the top 4. Survivor Series is outdated. It's not a big deal to have 5-on-5 matches anymore.
Yeah. Money in the Bank is exciting. That's true. That's a really good call. I can't even name the others because they change them all the time.
Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, Extreme Rules.
Hell in a Cell I would put after Money in the Bank. Although I do see why people like a Chamber as well, because it could be, you could protect the champion who has to do the job, if you will, and lose without technically being the one to take the pinfall and lose.
Chamber also offers more creative things. I mean, you got 6 guys; they can move around more inside of it versus.
I'm gonna do Money in the Bank first, outside of the 4, followed by Hell in a Cell, and then Chamber.
Money in the Bank has always actually been my favorite pay-per-view out of any of them.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I love the build up to it. I love the gimmick. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But Dan, thank you for your generous donation. Wow, you guys are killing it tonight. I'm losing track. I'm not gonna be able to see the final count on YouTube until after I have to go in. But I'm looking now. We're up over $200. Thank you so much for all this. I am Air. $2 say Mark was into Anna J. They should sign her. What else do we got here? Sabbath Ozzy 1 would a great cause for this to go to $5. Man, okay, we're gonna talk about the specifics of the show. A lot of people loved this match tonight on AEW. Kenny Omega versus Trent with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy at ringside. What did you think of this, Matt?
You knew it was going to be a great match as far as in between the ropes go, which it was. It was a very, very good executed match. I'm not surprised by it. Very Trent is really good, really, really good. And obviously, so is Kenny Omega. This was a 10 for me as far as the in-ring work goes.
Yeah, Justin?
Yeah, you know what? This was look, it was a good match. It's fun to watch these guys. But I will say my one complaint I was hung up on is, was this like supposed to be like a Falls Count Anywhere match? Because like, I mean, they did not administer a 10 count ever. I mean, they fought outside for sometimes 30, 40 seconds at a time without breaking up the.
They do that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that doesn't matter to some fans, but or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just a tight ass wrestling fan or something. I don't know. I like it. It buries the point of having rules in the ref. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't get past that because it wasn't just one time, but it was a lot.
That makes sense. You can't get past it. That's fair.
But overall, it was fun to watch.
Best in the smokers world, $75. Just
Ow.
wanted to contribute to a great cause. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Justin during WrestleMania weekends in the past with Chairshot Reality. Nicest guy around, and you're all right too, Matt and Glenn.
Thank you for the money and thank you for the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. You're more than all right. Thank you for the generous donation tonight.
Appreciate it.
So, and in fact, that's what I'm going to try and do while we're going to make sure we don't miss anything here. I'm going to have you guys talk about the matches. I'm really going to be monitoring the chat room, making sure we're getting everyone on tonight with donations.
Just again, next match and then call them out.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Kenny Omega won that via pinfall, and then we had Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay.
This was good too, actually. And I get on them for putting talent out there that I don't think they've done a good job of getting over enough to make us care about them yet. But with that said, I thought this was well executed.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like that. I'm not familiar with Anna Jay, so I don't know. I don't know where she comes from or what her deal is. I'll definitely look her up. But I thought she was. We've seen a lot outside of the core of the Rios and Britt Bakers, outside of the core of the women that AEW has. They bring in a lot of like one-offs and spots, and I think this was one of the better performers I'd seen.
So she's not on the roster.
Not as far as I know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she may have earned her spot.
I'm assuming because personnel was at somewhat of a premium, because they've let some people go home. They've let some people go home if they don't feel comfortable traveling, and then based upon where they were filming tonight, they were certainly pulling locally. So I would imagine she was. I imagine when I do some Googling on her, she's probably. Right.
So hopefully she earned herself a spot tonight.
Yeah.
Match, then.
Yeah, I'm guessing she's somewhat local from where they were.
So in that match, of course, Hikaru Shida won via pinfall. After that, Britt Baker was there doing a lot of trash talk while eating a sandwich. What do you guys think tonight? AEW went out of their way to mention the current situation, whereas WWE, I mean, we had multiple times tonight, they referenced the current situation, keeping your distance, when this disease is over, when this virus no longer poses a threat. What did you think tonight of them putting reality into the entertainment?
WWE said a lot more tonight than normal, didn't they?
WWE, I didn't notice it nearly as much as with AEW.
But they said keep your distance a couple times.
I know there's an internal memo with WWE not speak and say coronavirus.
Well, that's obvious, right? But I will take it a step further to say that I bet you they did a study. I bet you they did some type of study on this to where they can't just blankly. Do you know what I mean? During a national pandemic. Do you know what I mean?
I think.
Kind of research put behind it that people don't want to hear that word while they're being "quote unquote" entertained. I still would disagree with that, but
I mean, I agree with not saying the word coronavirus because you hear it everywhere else. I get that, but I mean, I do think to a point you at least need to acknowledge like this is why we're under such weird circumstances. This is why the show doesn't look like it normally does. I mean, I think if you don't, like what advantage, what point is that of not at least acknowledging, hey, we understand we're under. You don't have to say coronavirus. But you can just say we're in unprecedented times right now. I think Brody Lee even said that actually in his promo. He said we're in unprecedented times. I think it's okay to say that, but like WWE for the most part has really tried to. I mean, WWE is touting this is WrestleMania too big for one night, not even acknowledging why it's being presented this way. When everybody knows why, but just you'd be better off just saying it at this point.
Well, they even went further in that Brody Lee promo, and we'll talk about it, but he was saying, like, you literally have nothing else to do right now.
Right.
Like, you have no excuse.
Right,
I mean, they were using it as a setup for humor. James Jack's $2 saying make Raj watch Goonies for a fundraiser. Let me tell you, Matt, I'm here. We're going to go on strike. We're going to do a work stoppage on this podcast after we get through WrestleMania, and we are not coming back on here after Mania until Raj Giri. I'm going to give him Mania weekend, but after that, he's on notice.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do to the fans out there. Fans, if you haven't picked up on it yet, Raj makes a lot of money talking about, you guessed it, not watching Goonies. So here's an idea. Stop wasting your money to be part of the super chat to say, hey, Raj, go watch Goonies. Just go on his Twitter and say it to him. Save yourself some money. I'd love to see you guys spend your money elsewhere. Glenn will still read your super chat anyway, without you or chat, whatever it's called. If it's not money, or I don't even know what it's called. But do you know what I'm saying? So listen, we've tried to help Raj get enlightened with the Goonies. I am giving up on it because he's making money and slamming it in front of all of our faces and slapping us with those dollar bills that he continues to make.
Oh, it's true.
Our expense. So you know what? Screw you, Raj. You are not Goonies worthy. And I take back wanting you to see the enjoyment that is Goonies. You're not worthy.
Could you imagine if WrestleMania had happened this week? We would have gone into that meetup. Raj would have rolled in a brand new Rolls Royce with Ryback riding shotgun. No, he'd make Ryback chauffeur him around. Raj would show up.
WCW from the movie Limo, with them in the back in a hot tub, sharing a hot tub together, saying cheers to one another, pulling it. Yes.
Come out and just like throw money at us and be like, go fetch me a fancy boy cocktail.
Yes.
You know,
Fancy
yeah.
football.
Just order us around.
Daiquiris.
Yes. Go make me a daiquiri. I want you to hand muddle the strawberries.
Oh, right back. You don't know who these guys are? I don't either. They must be the enhancement talent for this podcast.
Steve Marcuccioli, $4.99. Do you guys view Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte as a dream match?
Ooh, I don't know about a dream match,
but it'd be good. I mean, Tessa's in a different situation now than she was even 6 months ago. But
maybe you guys think it's crazy. I'd rather see Tessa Blanchard versus
Becky, Sasha, Rhea.
No.
Oh.
Asuka.
Oh yeah, shit.
Because they would beat the crap out of each other.
Well, Tessa versus Charlotte's interesting just because you have 4 horsemen
Obviously.
lineage. Yes. I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's like dream match. I think it's just
styles and like lumping each other up with stiff shots. Good Lord. Asuka.
Yeah, that'd be something. So Manic Hispanic 16 saying happy to contribute to a wonderful cause, $10. Who are your picks for the first TNT champion? Thoughts on the name? I really like Archer, great athletic big man. P.S. I miss when Money in the Bank was at Mania. So who do you got, Matt? Who do you got in the tournament?
I like the minute they were talking about it, I said the same thing. I said this would be ideal for a Lance Archer, right? It gives Jake another I don't want to say gimmick, but another prop to go to, and his promos getting Archer more and more over, and it makes him look like a killer, right? The name of the title, TNT, it makes sense when you think about it, right? It's going to be a championship, I'm assuming, decided on television, just until it comes time one day when they don't work on TNT anymore, but we'll cross that bridge when they get to it. He misses Money in the Bank. Oh, yeah. The one ladder match that they'd have at Mania. Yeah, that sucks. I agree.
Yeah, but Money in the Bank at, look, I love, Money in the Bank at Mania was fun. I mean, I was at Mania 23. I popped huge with my boy Ken, and when Ken Kennedy won it. But I think Money in the Bank is so successful, it makes sense to have it as its own entity. Mania doesn't need it. And yeah, Lance Archer. If Lance Archer doesn't win since he's in the tournament, if he doesn't win this title, you're doing him harm. How this early on are you going to have him lose in any capacity? I don't care if you do some crazy ass distraction. How can you have him lose off the bat at this point? So it's almost like he has to win it. There's no other option. It's just a matter of how dominant can you make him look on the path to doing so.
Yeah.
Digital Lizard, $20 donation. Even outside of these challenging times, you provide a much-needed distraction from real life week in and week out. I'm lucky enough to be able to work from home and appreciate what you're doing tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Digital Lizard, $20. It's fantastic. Wait, okay. Raj Giri has chimed in just saying, no Goonies. Okay, Raj Giri, you're on notice, buddy. We're making it through to Mania. We're going to make it through the Raw after Mania. And after that, work stoppage. If by the following Monday Night Raw, Raj has not watched the Goonies, I'm not showing up. I'm calling in sick.
What is the point of this? What is he going to start, like, we're going to have like 5-minute conversations about like chunk? Like what is it that we get? I still want to know, what do I get out of Raj Giri watching Goonies?
That's a good question. I think satisfaction.
No, I've seen the movie. I love the movie. I think the movie is too good for Raj now. That's true. What I feel.
I think it's become a thing. Like my wife and I for years kept saying, "Oh, we've never seen the movie Serpico," and we said one day we're finally going to watch Serpico.
What the hell is Serpico?
I don't know what that is.
Serpico, Al Pacino movie from the 70s. He played an undercover cop. Oh. It was like Al Pacino's, like, it came out after Taxi Driver. So when De Niro was big, this is like put Pacino on the map with The Godfather. One day we finally watched Serpico, and it was a little lackluster. We're like, no, we've seen Serpico. Okay, it was all right. But that was like our movie was the joke. Well, we're going to watch Serpico one of these days. Mm-hmm. So I think with Raj, I think at this point, it just has to happen. It has to be done so we can then move on to even more important films in the Pantheon. Has you watched Monster Squad? Have we discussed this yet with Raj?
Oh, I bet you he's definitely not seen that. No way. I'm predicting no way.
That's up there. Justin, you ever seen Monster Squad?
I haven't seen that. I've actually never seen Goonies. That's why I'm staying out of it.
Well, you're young. Nobody gives a shit about you.
Down, Matt. Yeah, I have never seen Goonies.
You're just saying this. You're trying to cut in on Raj now. You've seen Goonies.
No, I have not. It was on It was on Sci-Fi earlier this evening. I was like, I could watch it, but then I wouldn't be able to watch AEW and NXT. I have not seen Goonies.
There was no decision for you to make, and I can't wait.
I had to do the podcast. I had to watch the wrestling shows.
It's podcast. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
You've really never.
I've also
folks at home in a super chart. You don't have to pay for this. You can just make the comments. Who here, by a show of hands, if you can do it in the chat room, I don't know because I can't see the chat room. By show of hands, though, or middle fingers, or whatever you want to call them, thumbs up even. Think Justin is full of bleep and try to cut it on Raj Giri's not watching Goonies heat.
I've never seen any of the Rocky movies.
I'm totally calling that's right.
That surprises. Nope. That surprises so many people because of what I'm into. They're like, I've never seen the Rocky movies. I have watched one Star Wars. My wife is having me watch them in chronological order. I just watched Rogue One, then I'm gonna go back and watch the ones in the 70s. There's some things I'm just not caught up on.
Superman?
I've seen a little bit of the Marvel stuff. I don't know, but I know that's out of the.
You not allowed to watch TV as a kid or go to movies?
It was nonstop.
Wait,
when I was
my
a kid, when I was a kid, it was nonstop wrestling.
Wait a second, you're in Philadelphia. Justin, are you Amish? Were you raised Amish?
No, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm not in Philadelphia.
You're in Pennsylvania. Were you raised Amish? Pennsylvania Dutch Amish?
I moved to Pittsburgh. I didn't move to Pennsylvania until I was 18, 17.
Where'd you live before then? Like in a cult somewhere? Like
I lived in Chesapeake Beach, Maryland. That's where I lived. Matt, to answer your question, no, it wasn't that. It was just I was all like wrestling. Wrestling was my life.
But you've never seen Rocky?
I never watched the Rocky movies. No.
He's making this up.
I am not.
Okay. We're gonna save this. We're gonna put a pin in this till Friday. We have
making this all up.
I will. Do you want me to go bring my wife in here and she can vouch for this?
Yes, I do.
You want me to do this right now?
Dead serious. If she's awake,
you're gonna get me in trouble.
I don't believe any of this.
Yeah. You really?
Not Rocky. Not Goonies. Star Wars 1. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
she had me watch. I watched Rogue One, and then I guess that leads into the first one in the 70s.
You were a little kid.
I was born in 87.
Yeah, but
how old are you?
I was born in 87. I'll be 33 this year.
You're only 33 years old.
How does he look, Matt? Arguably, I think Justin looks older than you do.
Thank you.
I'm not saying arguably. He does.
Wow.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just joking.
No.
I can't believe. See, in my head, yeah, you were a kid.
Matt, I met you you and I first met like 9 years ago at a Dominic DeNucci roast and thing. I was like 23 at that time.
I wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you like buying beer in high school? Were you one of those kids? You know?
He had Chair Shot reality show.
Yeah.
I started that when I was 21.
Wiggles with a $5 super chat. I love you guys doing this stuff like this. Is very close to my heart because my little brother has autism. I mean, it's Matt, you know the stats on this. It's actually really incredible how prevalent autism is, and we still don't know why. We still don't know the cause, but the numbers, if you look historically, a part of it might be they weren't diagnosing it as much or as accurately 30 years ago. But I think everyone, if it's not your family, like knows someone, has someone close to their heart who lives under these conditions. So thank you. In Culture City, again, great charity. You can donate directly if you're listening to this later at Culture City. That's culture with a K, culturecity.org/donate. We got some more donations here. Did we get to everyone? I think we might be caught up on this. But Justin, Friday night, when we get some time, we're going to really delve into the Justin LaBar.
He's going to have time to set up his wife with these answers, though.
Justin Lopez, Buck99 saying Wolfman's got nards. If you'd seen Monster Squad, Justin, you would understand that. David 3x $5. You should do a podcast on the Goonies so Raj watches it.
But yet I've seen movies like Angus. I know you and I were talking about it last Friday, Glenn. I mean, there's some things.
Your time.
There's weird things.
James Jack saying $2 if Raj doesn't watch it. Break his leg, Matt. Like, whoa, that really took a turn. Tom saying $5. I think TNT fits a double meaning. The channel with the show name Dynamite. Absolutely.
Yes. Good call.
Yeah, I mean, it works on multiple levels. I think it's really smart. Okay, I think, Rider Kick, Buck99, thank you guys for doing this. My son has autism. Wow. I mean, it's just, again, just goes to show how far-reaching this is and why Culture City is so important. Shrideep Sengupta, $200, and I forget the currency name. 200, but Indian, as that rupees. Love from India. Love your podcast. Never miss it. Thank you very much.
Love from India. I love it.
Yeah. This is just great. Michael Jareen, $2. Matt Morgan, will you ever wrestle again? And this actually ties into the birth of your son for why you stopped. But your son has seen you wrestle now.
Yes, he has. I have a charity event. If I can, I know I can raise some good money doing a fundraiser. I will put together a wrestling show for that. But that's it.
Not like get Raj to watch Goonies money, but you could raise a lot of money. I mean, not.
No.
Raj is like an evil genius because there's some weird Tom Sawyer shit going on. Or was it Huck Finn? It's like, look how much fun I'm having painting the fence. Look how much fun we have podcasting. Guys, you should totally podcast with us. Okay, I'm going to stop doing the podcast now, and you guys can just keep doing the podcast. And
yes.
Jedi mind tricks. Justin, you get that reference if you'd seen Star Wars.
I saw Jonathan Taylor Thomas in some Tom Sawyer Huck Finn movie in the 90s. I remember that. So I call it the painting of the fence.
Okay, not a super chat, but I got to point out, Narcotic613 saying, Raj watched the Goonies weeks ago. He just doesn't want to stop collecting those super chats.
Yes, exactly. Definitely. I agree with that. It's a gimmick at this point.
Oh, okay. Back to AEW. It's taking forever tonight, but you know what? You guys are awesome. We're hanging with. Let's talk about this Jake Hager promo talking about Moxley.
Yeah.
Jericho talking about Moxley. Sammy Guevara talking about Hager, talking about Moxley.
It was, as Raj would say, it was there.
Yeah. Okay, Jake Roberts talking about Lance Archer tonight.
This
freaking tastic.
Yeah. This was, Jake. He can talk the talk. Obviously, has for 30+ years, and then right after that, you see Lance Archer walk out, and he's walking the walk. I mean, yeah, Jake is such an asset for them to have because he if you're a younger fan, you just watch him and you're gonna understand. Okay, this guy's a great, this guy's communicating to me. And then if you're an older fan, you know who Jake the Snake is. So it's just instant credibility to the show and to this performer that he's representing. I will forever say each week, this is such a huge asset for the Dynamite show to have each week, to have Jake Roberts on it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was phenomenal. So good. Look forward to it each week.
Man, and looking at the contrast, Justin, what's it? Jake Roberts has been tweeting out lately. Is it true he's holed up in a hotel right now during all this? Didn't he have something the other day talking about sort of just the mental effects?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'll find the tweet. It was actually, it was really moving.
I'm sure. Again, Jake's older. He smoked his whole life. He's the exact guy. He's the exact symptoms that we're hearing all the warnings of. You don't want to. So, I'm sure they're taking every precaution. It was, I'm sure in theory, when Lance Archer was to have his first match in AEW, the plan was to have Jake there ringside. He was, and he did a pre-tape promo because Jim Ross keeping these older performers away wisely. But I don't know where Jake's at. Hopefully he's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, he tweeted on March 28th, getting tough being alone all the time. Hotel room keeps shrinking. Jealous of those with family or partners still sober. I'm glad he's keeping his sobriety up through all of this. Man, it's
that was the hardest part of addiction. Being on the road for me was it'd be the boredom during the down times.
Yeah.
In between your matches, in between your shows, especially on overseas tours, is that. So that's great to hear. He's still kicking this addiction's ass. Good for him.
Man, but these promos, I think back to his classic promos, but think about the documentary, think about everything he's been through since. He just has so much weight. You know what I mean? He's at that age. Similar, how Johnny Cash, when he got a little older, just you could tell, you could just see the life lived in the guy. And I think Jake right now, his promos, that's why, it's because it has so much gravity and gravitas behind it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. But no, this was absolutely fantastic tonight. Then we had Lance Archer versus Marco Stunt, with Marco taking some crazy bumps, but Lance winning via pinfall. What did you think of this?
Oh, very good. You didn't like it, Justin?
It was a good choice to put Marco as his opponent because obviously Marco's the smallest guy you have, so it emphasizes Lance's size, and he can do some feats of strength. The problem I had, this match went almost 5 minutes. Why the F did it go this long? Marco got way more offense than he ever should have. I mean, I just didn't get that part. But
much more importantly, I've got a celebrity that's in our chat room, aka Pyro Keith. Keith Hillebrand is a pyro technician from Monday Nitro era, all this cool stuff you guys used to see, Goldberg's entrance. Went on to TNA and did a lot of our stuff when we had cool pyro there. And his name is Keith Hillebrand. So whoever is putting him on suspension or whatever the hell you call it in this chat room.
He's on suspension?
Yeah, this is a good man. He's actually a really cool dude. Good friend of mine. I'm just writing what this text was. He's a good friend.
Wait, so you got our chat mods are crazy, but yeah, please.
There's nothing that he would say out of turn besides I used to do Matt's pyro and I made him a star. He'd make some stupid joke like that to make fun of me, I'm sure. But here
we go. This is just funny, Matt. This is and I'm not dissing $2. Every bit counts. We love every donation, but I love that a $2 donation. Matt, in your opinion, what killed TNA?
Russo.
Oh, really?
No.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, it was not Russo.
When we started to tour, which I was legit excited about, I was excited to go on the road on a Monday night. I thought it was pretty chancy, obviously, but we had such an amazing roster. I'm sorry, our roster was better if you did it from top to bottom than WWE's. I know that's nothing to sneeze at. Like, calm down, settle down. You're exaggerating. Go back and look at the two rosters.
In 2010, it was.
I'm being so sincere about that, you guys. We had a better roster, damn it. And we just shouldn't have done it. We should not have gone on the road. Should have continued to do it, stick there at a Universal and continue to put out better TV. And that goes on creative a little bit. You have all those stars, and that's the best. You have Ric Flair doing, what was it again? Icing people? Like, we were icing Ric Flair, rather, with the Fortune Group and crap. That's so stupid.
We just got a very nice retweet from Culture City tonight, pointing everyone to this podcast, which is awesome. Brenda Bean with the $5 super chat. Cody versus Archer for the TNT title at the end of the tournament. Also, thanks for putting tonight's show towards a worthy cause. My son has autism. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Thanks, Brenda.
I hope you're hanging in there with everything that's going on right now. I can't imagine just this disruption to routine. Disco Scotty, $2. Time for another Candyland Clash, Matt.
Hey, Disco Scotty helped me during his buddy of mine helped me during my campaign out there on the street holding Matt Morgan signs with me. 2017. He's a very good friend. So is his wife. They're like family. Thanks for coming in here. That's cool.
Sean Allen, $10. My wife is the same age as Justin. She's never watched Rocky, and I can't get her to. I don't get it.
Sean Allen, you need to step your game up. There is no excuse for this. You have to lock the doors. You better do something because Rocky needs to be in everybody's life.
And to be clear, it's not like I have like I haven't seen it. I kind of want to see him, and maybe during this isolation I will. It's just one of those things I just never.
You should be going to town. You have a plethora of amazing American classics.
I'm working from home, and I have 2 kids. I don't get a lot of time, and I'm doing this 3 times a week. I don't have time always.
Who's doing the what do you call it? What's it called? Online school. Well, come on, what is wrong with me? The kids now are having to stay at home and go through their schoolwork online.
My kids are 2 and 5. My 5-year-old's in preschool, so they don't have an online thing. So it's 2 kids to 2 kids to entertain. Plus, I'm still running, doing the day job. I just started Ozark in season 1. I'm at like episode 5, and I know season 3 just came out.
That is an amazing show. You'll love it.
Oh my God. I've been watching that late at night. Yeah.
Every spare minute, I am trying to send my 5-year-old upstairs on the Kindle, put the 2-year-old to nap, and trying to get my wife, come on, let's hurry up and get 1 hour in of Ozark.
Here's the weird thing about Ozark. I feel like if you feel like your blood pressure isn't high enough, just watch Ozark. Like
that's what she says.
10 points.
I could binge watch it all night. My wife's like, after 2, she's like, I'm too much on edge. And she's like down in a glass of wine. I'm like, you need to calm down.
Yeah, I mean, it makes 3 this new season especially.
I mean, yeah, I'm on episode. I just started the last episode, but good Lord, if you thought Breaking Bad was like stressful, this is next level.
I did watch Tiger King, by the way. I did get that in.
Don't say anything. I've not caught it yet. I got to watch it.
Armando Gomez, $4.99. Justin, I'm 30. Did not see a single Star Wars to Disney Plus. Haven't seen Goonies, but how can you not watch any of the Rocky movies?
I know. I will watch the Rocky.
Armando, I can't let you get off the hook with that though. Go back to that one. He also missed Star Wars
until Disney Plus. Haven't watched Goonies.
And we have Disney Plus for the kids, so I'll get them. I'll get to.
Michael Edwards, $10. Thank you for supporting and shining light on such an incredible cause tonight. What do you think will be the first non-WWE guy to win the AEW World Title? Omega, MJF, Darby, Evil Uno.
Okay, so yeah, not the last one, for sure. It should be get him off that list. Omega or MJF is my call on that. I gotta pick one.
MJF.
It should be. I would have predicted Omega, but it's got to be MJF.
Yeah.
Right?
But out of that list, maybe nobody on that list. You know, there's Lance Archer, there's Wardlow, there's a lot of non-WWE guys that like if when the time comes they want to position.
Those are WWE guys. Lance Archer is a WWE guy now.
Over 10 years ago, he's not. I think WWE guy means who just jumped ship. Brody Lee, Moxley, like recent guys like. You know, Trent from Best Friends was a WWE once upon a time. I think you're talking about guys who are stars in WWE or at least put in a certain position, you know, but like, you know,
okay.
You know, I don't think of Lance Archer as the WWE guy.
I think MJF. But Julian Maha, $20. Keep up the great work.
Real quick, stay right here.
Yeah.
Julian Maha. Who is Julian Maha? Julian Maha is the man, the myth, the legend behind Culture City.
Oh,
nice.
Wow.
I call him Dr. Maha. In fact, he is doctor, and he is the reason Culture City is what Culture City is. I think that's amazing. You're on our show right now, sir. That's great. Wow. That's really what an honor.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for dropping in and the retweet tonight. Hopefully we'll keep raising a lot of money. I haven't looked at the total. Okay, we're almost at $400 in donations. So this is wow. You guys are something else. This is insane. I think this is well beyond what we do on a normal night. Legacy Press Publishing, $1.99.
Yes, that was the head of Culture City. Just reminding everyone.
Yes,
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Wow. Legacy Press Publishing, $1.99. Can AEW show indie matches of their stars? I think there's probably some rights issues.
That would be cool and really amazing for a lot of some of these indie companies.
Yeah, but you know what? AEW has enough money. If they went and offered most of those indie companies.
They would take it in a heartbeat.
A certain fee that would be very modest to AEW's budget, but would be, especially in these times right now where all these independent shows have to cancel, that would be, you know, $1,000 would be good money for an indie company to get for just supplying a videotape.
Especially, what's that one company that Orange Cassidy came from? And I actually got contacted by them when Glenn was trying to get me to wrestle Orange Cassidy.
Really?
After I discovered him. What's the name of that company that he came from?
Was it Evolve or
PWG?
No, it's like an entertainment company for wrestling. It's pretty funny. It's where they have Gentleman Jervis and wrestlers like that.
Huh. So wait, they contacted you about wrestling Orange Cassidy and
yeah.
But I take it it's not happening, or else you probably wouldn't.
Oh, this was a long time ago. This was like back when I first discovered Orange Cassidy, and like my tweets went friggin' viral because I said I loved Orange Cassidy.
That would be a hell of a charity match, Matt. I think that might outdraw Raj not watching the Goonies.
Yeah,
we could probably stream that, you know, as a pay-per-view. Raise a lot of money. Septim XL with $1 super chat donation. Thank you so much. Back to AEW Dynamite tonight. After Lance Archer won that. Well, Brody Lee, talk about this vignette. This going hard in the Vince zone. Brody Lee tonight. Yeah.
I don't see the problem with it. I mean, why does he get grief for it or something like that? I read some reports that WWE was like making like they were being crybabies about it or something like that. Is that true?
I don't know if it's true, but there's a report out there that it ruffled feathers with people in WWE. But yeah, I don't know.
You gotta know that.
Right.
What was he doing tonight? Was that supposed to be a Vinceism thing when he was saying like, "What's the matter, guy? Having some problems at home? I don't know about."
Well, he was getting on the guy about yawning, and Vince notoriously doesn't. You know, he sleeps very little, and so seeing yawning. Seeing someone yawn, sign of weakness, just like sneezing. When you can't control yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what that kind of came to.
It's crazy.
And I don't know. I don't know for sure the reference of "you will call me Mr. Brody." I don't know if that must be something that
he definitely told one of the talents, "You'll call me Mr. McMahon" for sure.
Well, no, but at first, with the talents, the Dark Order minion said like Mr. Lee, and like he's like, no, you're calling me Mr. Brody. So I don't know if Vince is a thing where he's like, call me Mr. Vince. I'm not aware of. I don't know.
No, other way around. Somebody called him Vince, and he said, hey, my name is Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, that's
to you, Jay Brown.
Jay Brown.
That's what that really is. He says that to you.
I think part of it is making it, that's how you make it a character, right? I mean, the same way you have, on The Simpsons, like Mr. Burns is based off of what we think of billionaires and people like Howard Hughes. I think the way that it's funny is you take it from a point of truth and then you make it absurd. Now, there are some things about Vince that are absolutely absurd. Yes. So I think, I think they have to make it its own thing. It can't just be a straight carbon copy parody.
No, but the sneezes, the yawning, those are funny. Those are really over the top. Vince doesn't do it every day.
Yeah.
So 2 for 2 with promos, one with the yawn, one with the sneeze, and I think that's pretty funny. It's over the top, like a caricature.
Yeah.
He's got to do it some more, and we'll see.
We went from that to the Natural Nightmares with Brandy Rhodes versus the Dark Order Minions 8 and 9 tonight. Pretty easy squash with the Natural Nightmares winning via pinfall.
Why was it called Natural Nightmares?
So I think this is replacing, what was it, Nightmare Collective?
Nightmare Collective. So there was the Nightmare Collective that was like Cody's stable that had Arn as a manager with Brandy now and Dustin and QT Marshall's like as their buddy. Now they're making like Dustin and QT Marshall officially a tag team, calling them the Nightmare.
And it's QT Marshall.
Is it?
I swear to God, it is QT Marshall. That's how you pronounce this. When it was a Ring of Honor, that's how he did it. He made a big point to everyone pronounce that name like that.
So afterwards, Brody came out to the ring, powerbombed one of the Dark Order minions who lost, and then it went to the back. Let's talk about Chris Jericho's promo from the jacuzzi, sipping a little bit of the bubbly, and talking about the Elite, talking about Matt Hardy. We had Vanguard 1 come in. Man, I love this promo, but what did you guys think of this?
Money.
Yeah.
Money, and let me give a props and shout out to the way they tossed to it. Tony Schiavone tossed to it by saying, here's video that was independently sent. One piece of video by Jericho, another piece of video sent by Matt Hardy, and we have put it together. So I like the fact that, you would watch this and you see, okay, you see Jericho being filmed in a hot tub. You see Vanguard 1. I like the fact that AEW gave just a little bit of context of Jericho sent us his promo he was doing in a hot tub. Matt Hardy's people sent us Vanguard 1's video, and we put it together to make it one. Like, it's such a little stupid thing, but I just think that it brings so much more context to what you're seeing. It makes it just a little bit more believable. And I thought that was really well done.
Really quick, why does everyone make such a big deal about Matt Hardy teleporting, by the way? Like,
I thought it was great when he.
Whether it was shoddily, that's not even a word, Charlie. But if it was crappily, is that even a word? No. If it was done terribly, all right, and low budget, whatever you want to call it, you see the holes in it and whatnot. I go back to Undertaker electrocuting people. Again, bolts of lightning coming out of. I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong. His hands at one point. No,
Kane did that to the.
I mean, we were all okay with that. Well, man, it was done better. WWE, okay, maybe so. But when we watch wrestling, like, it's supposed to be that stuff to some degree. We understand this Matt Hardy character is supposed to be different. It's not high-flying, crazy, risk-taking Matt Hardy. It's this whatever, supernatural, crazy version of him who does have superpowers, apparently. Like, I didn't think that was crazy. Like, I wasn't turned off by it. Like, oh, that's it. I'm never watching this again.
Oh,
I didn't think that at once. I never thought that at one time watching it. I was just like, all right, they're going for something different here. Good on them for trying to do something different. Think outside the box. How many times have I told you guys? Sometimes when somebody doesn't hit a home run with thinking outside the box, it's always that next time that somebody else takes that and makes it better, and that becomes the home run maybe one day. You know what I mean? Like, I just go back right now. The WWE and how they started shooting all their shows after AEW did it first, of showing the actual ramp and not the empty arena, right? So, like, little things like that lead to other germs of ideas that may become that bigger idea down the roads. That's why I try not to crap on anything that I see that's completely different. As long as it's outside the box, they're trying to do something original. I'll always applaud it. I may not be a huge fan of it, but I'll applaud it rather than the same old.
Yeah. I thought it was charming they didn't do it perfectly. That you saw Chris Jericho's head move when the camera cuts happened. I mean, that like the Ultimate Final and all the Hardy compound stuff. Like the reason why people love it, or the reason why I love it, isn't because it was a blockbuster movie with cutting edge special effects. I think that it looked like
Justin, what's your
some fun in their backyard making a movie.
Justin, is it look bad on your end, Glenn, right now? Does Glenn look all staticky?
Yeah, Glenn, you're like you look like the Matrix is dying on you.
Did you lower your Wi-Fi or something? No,
no
such thing.
I think down the background. Hold on one second.
It's taking your sharpness away of your shot of you. It's like
okay. How about right now?
It's a little bit better. You're still very blurry.
I think something was downloading in the background.
It's like Nintendo versus me and like Justin LaBar being like PlayStation.
I don't go that far.
The difference is
it's a big difference right now.
You guys
like
maybe
you're Super Mario. You were Super Mario, right?
Well, yes.
And here's a reference, Glenn. You're Atari.
Ooh.
Yes. There you go.
The almost 33-year-old making the Atari reference there.
We're like Call of Duty right now. The graphics difference between us.
Yeah, maybe Call of Duty 1. Is it any better?
You sound better, but you don't look good.
Better, but
to Matt's point,
he's not being smart ass. He's being serious.
To Matt's point, though, I mean, I think the teleportation thing with Matt Hardy, I think that's you can't do that if you have an arena full of people. You can only do that filming if you have an empty arena. So I thought it made sense to do that. Take advantage of it.
Perfect. There you go, Glenn. You're back.
There you go.
Okay.
You're back in the game.
Glenn, you've never looked better.
Someone tweeted at me today, speaking of games, that the game Paperboy is 35 years old as of today.
God, I'm old. Oh my God.
I had that on Game Boy.
I used to play it in the arcade. It was a great arcade game.
Great soundtrack too. Just that music, just that little funky riff. Man, I love that.
Paperboy the movie?
What? No, Paperboy the game. Remember? No, yeah. Remember that? Like that song that would play. Like I'm not gonna. I can't really sing, so I'm not gonna hum it. But it was an awesome soundtrack. Michael Jareen saying, guys, what do you think of Lashley versus Lesnar?
As far as what? Did I miss something? Are they about to wrestle each other? I don't know it.
No.
They never fought MMA. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe he's saying maybe one day they wrestle each other. That has to be a match.
Yeah, we thought that was going to happen for a long time.
They can't just leave it on the table.
Yeah, I don't know. So Brian Bornheimer, $10, saying late to the party tonight and just want to donate to a great cause. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
Isaac Picardo saying with a donation, keep up the great work, guys. Quick cue for all three. What is your favorite Mania match? Like this year of all time?
Ooh, damn.
Quick question. Oh, of all time? Definitely Hulk Hogan versus Andre.
Yeah.
It's the most emotionally invested I've ever been to a build-up of a match as well, to be honest.
I have two. One is Mania 13, Austin versus Brett, the I Quit match. The other one I was fortunate enough to see live 19 years ago today, Mania 17, Austin versus Rock, just because the story and the turns that happen. Yeah, that one. So both Austin matches.
Yeah, I think Hogan versus Andre, man, and the first Mania, I don't know, the first Mania overall was just so goddamn exciting to watch.
So exciting. Every damn clip they throw to, every whatever feed they throw to, there was like a rock star there, movie star. It was such a big deal.
Andrew Ong, $4.99, saying Taker should bring back the body bag for his match with AJ at Mania. Also keep up the good work.
I like that.
I will make this prediction I do think we will see Taker show up to this boneyard match on a motorcycle, so a little American Badass style. I think he will arrive on a motorcycle to it.
All right, so you're not taking that from me. I made the prediction that he would be American Badass, and you guys laughed at me.
No, I didn't laugh. I wasn't. Where was I? I didn't scoff. What I'm saying is that if he has to arrive to a location, I can see it being on a motor. It's either a motorcycle or Hearst. Those are the only two modes of transportation for Undertaker to take.
No, I think Michelle McCool's going to drive him in a minivan. Just pull up and put him out.
She drives him in a minivan with like trolls playing on the DVD player in the back.
And on the back, there's the stick figure people, but the Undertaker one has the hat on it, the trench coat. Yeah.
Wait, do they have a family? They don't have a family, right? They don't have like children, right? Or do they?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. So
I watched his promo again, by the way. I thought it was so good. Watch it again a second time.
What'd you think of Matt and Nick Jackson tonight? This promo segment.
It was good. It's all right.
And then the main event, Cody and Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara.
It was okay. Can I give a cheap plug? The same artist that does Sammy Guevara's entrance music is the same musical artist that does my theme music for my podcast, Wrestling Reality. I just want to give a shout out to him, Montezi. You can follow him on Twitter at TZ Scott. I just want to give him a shout out because I was just talking to him. Whatever.
Nice. I like the stuff tonight with them gambling in ring. I like the little. I mean, it was an entertaining match.
It was. The chairman looked like he was 7 foot tall, 300 pounds. Come on, what's his name?
Shawn
Spears looked humongous out there compared to everybody else to me for some reason.
Well, Darby Allin's like $170.
So is Sammy.
I mean,
Sammy's ripped up, but they're both very, very small. I mean, and Cody to some degree, you know what I mean? The Shawn Spears looked like a friggin' bodybuilder out there by comparison.
Yeah.
He looks good. He should continue to wear trunks, by the way. It makes him look even bigger. He should not be hiding. Usually when you see wrestlers, guys, wear like tights or pants, it's because they're hiding their crappy legs. Homeboy's got some pretty jacked up legs, like muscular legs. He should be wearing trunks. He looks like a better, he looks like a bigger and like a bigger superstar in trunks.
I'll say this. I don't think AEW's main event match was better than NXT. I think NXT had a better match to end.
I'm such a Darby fan, though. Okay.
AEW accomplished the business of having Darby, hit Cody after the match to set up for them being at the tournament. So they put a little bit of heat in that match. That's good. But honestly, that tag match, I preferred, as I'm watching both, I preferred what we saw on NXT main event wise.
Ugh, we're never gonna get.
Let's talk about NXT tonight. Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish opening up the show.
Bobby Fish is really good. I just all about Velveteen. Like, this is my problem with their whole clique. Is if it's not Adam Cole, I'm just I don't care about any of those three.
This didn't feel. I mean, this felt like NXT to me tonight. I felt like this was a really good match. Velveteen Dream doesn't need the crowd with this character and the way he acts. I thought this was a really, really good opening to the show and amazing. I was looking through my photo memories on this day, 4 years ago today. Patrick Clark watched him wrestle at WrestleMania Access on the NXT stage. It's just amazing how far he's come in such a short amount of time. I'm assuming he's going to be facing Adam for the NXT title. What, next week? NXT? They didn't announce it, but sooner rather than later.
I don't know if it's the next week. I know next week is the building around the Gargano Ciampa.
Oh, that's right.
Epic battle. Yeah, I mean, like Matt said, all the guys in the Undisputed Era are talented, but like Bobby Fish is, they're touting like he's got MMA background and this and that, and like Bobby Fish is a talented in the ring guy, but he's 43 years old. It's not. I don't buy in that like this is a guy of the future that's going to break out from the Undisputed Era. I mean, this is clearly like Velveteen Dream's time, and again, this match, kind of like what I said earlier with an AEW, this match was just more than what I needed to be. I needed Dream to get a little more definitive of a win. This is not Bobby Fish's story. This is all about Velveteen Dream here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Raj Giri is in the chat room tonight and said that Undertaker and Michelle have children. So,
but he's chatting, but he won't come on and talk with us?
That's right.
No. Because he's collecting his money, though. You marks are thrown at him about Goonie talk. Quit giving him money for not watching
Goonie bucks.
Figure the gimmick out. He's running on you all.
But I think you're right. This was a really competitive match tonight. It didn't need to be. But with Undisputed Era, I mean, they're not going to job them out. But this was good. I think I love Velveteen's promo after this. Saying he's coming for Adam Cole.
Fire. Yeah, his promo was fire. Yeah.
And then we had Malcolm Bivens with Saurav Gujar and Rinku Singh attacking. We saw the video of them attacking Matt Riddle last week, sending a message to him and his partner. And what did you think of this promo that they cut tonight, threatening the Broserweights?
I thought this guy was supposed to be a great promo.
It's tough. It's a tough scenario that they're in with this, right? Because they're letting everyone talk.
Yeah, but all I heard was this guy's supposed to be a really big money promo, and I did not see it tonight.
Yeah.
Middle of the line.
Then Dexter Lumis versus a debuting Jake Atlas. Jake's from the Bay Area. I've seen him wrestle some indie shows before. Kind of a squash tonight. He got some offense in, but this was set up to make Dexter Lumis look good. What did you think of this, Matt?
I don't like the name Loomis.
Yeah, it's a little
wimpy.
Yeah.
You know, people probably said the same thing about Morgan, so I always hated them using my name. Thank God they did, in retrospect. You don't want to be called your real name as a wrestler. You know, growing up in our era that we grew up in the 80s, you know, larger than life, super duper cartoon character wrestlers. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I expect to be like the Masked Marauder or something crazy like that. Not, look out, here comes Matt Morgan. It's Matt Morgan. You know what I mean? Anybody,
yeah, but hey, Vince doesn't own that name. You own your real name.
No, that's what I'm saying in retrospect. Thank God. Hang on, wait, is that Roger's real picture?
Yeah, that's Raj saying, I'll watch the Goonies when Matt watches Bridget Jones's Diary.
Newsflash, I've seen it. I'm well-rounded. Okay? Raj, my eclectic movie tastes are second to none. I'm a very well-rounded moviegoer.
I was more surprised by Sisterhood of the Traveling
Put that
Pants.
picture back up.
It's not all about Matt Morgan. It's about my wife, and I watch more movies that she wants to watch than what.
Look at that photo.
Oh my God, I know that's what that's.
Look at that
you
photo.
don't picture photo, Raj. You don't look anything like that. Fix that.
You know, Matt, when we do the Blue Chew ads this weekend, maybe you should be given the dating advice and say, fellas, here's what you got to do.
Look at that.
You put on Bridget Jones's Diary. Then you take a Blue Chew about halfway through, and you say, "Hey, baby, let's pause the movie for a minute," you know, and then we'll get back to this later. We got more pressing needs. Yeah.
I mean, like Raj is a happily married man. I've met his wife. She's wonderful. I mean, he's way out of his league.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks like a Tinder dating profile picture there. I don't know. That's slow to the swipe right or swipe left.
I could be wrong. This is how well I think I know Raj. Raj, correct me if I'm wrong. This is from the photo of Raj and all of his other internet cohorts that have their own websites as well. Backstage, didn't you guys all go out one night and take like a photo together? It's like Meltzer, Raj is in it. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's like a photo they all took together.
I have seen that photo, I believe.
That Raj is very excited to be a part of. I could have sworn that's that photo. Raj, am I wrong? Tell me.
Raj is like the remember when Raw had the anonymous GM that would like anonymously respond as things were happening on television? That's like what Raj is right now. Like Matt calls out Raj, am I right in here? It's just Raj typing back.
I think he's saying damn to the Tinder joke is what I think he was answering.
Or I think damn to the fact you've seen Bridget Jones's Diary. So we're up over $400 in donations to Culture City. If you're listening to this later, you can go to culturecity.org/donate, or we're going to keep the super chats open throughout the show. Yeah, Bridget Jones. I would have guessed that after Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, Matt, nothing will surprise me now that you'll ever reveal on this podcast. That is perhaps like maybe you could bust out with like, back in junior high, I picked up a Sweet Valley Twins book once or twice. Like that would surprise me.
Yeah, but Matt watched the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants to get laid. I watched The Notebook to get laid. It's things you have to do when you're younger. It is what it is.
No, you're falling asleep anyway. You're going the complete opposite for me. I'm going to bed anyway, make my wife happy, watch a movie that she wants to watch, and I try to hang in as long as I can.
Yes. But sometimes, though, it's weird because I've had where I put it on the background before. I'm like, well, she wants to watch this. I'll just play around on my phone. And by the end of it, it's like phone down, fully invested, getting a little misty-eyed. Like sometimes I'm surprised by things that I enjoy.
Yeah, I agree.
So speaking of couples, Killer Cross, we got a teaser vignette narrated by Scarlett Bordeaux tonight. And Sam Roberts on commentary called the clock in the promo a doomsday clock.
This was good. I thought this was cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to his debut. We saw a recap of the brawl between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, hyping up the one final beat match for them next week. Then let's talk about this, the second chance gauntlet match for the number one contender women's ladders match that's going to happen next week. We saw Shotzi Blackheart, Deonna Purrazzo, Zia Lee, Dakota Kai, Aaliyah, and Kaden Carter. This was awesome, Matt. This was kind of like what we've been talking about. Just go out there and let the women tear it up on NXT, and they gave us a good long match here.
Kaden Carter is definitely going to be I think she could be a huge star. Huge. She's still getting better, and she's still learning. Obviously, they need to take her time. They have so many great women wrestlers. With her, I would pay the extra time that it takes to get her to a different level that I think she can get to. Take your time with her. Let her simmer in NXT. Take all the time in the world with her, because I do think the payoff with her one day is totally worth it. She has a natural ability to make you like her. That's so hard to have. I'm telling you guys, it's so hard. Not everybody has that.
Yeah, great look. I mean, even her losing to Asuka the other night. I mean, I thought that may have been a bad move to have her out there because she is so memorable. She's not just another one of these blonde WWE creator wrestlers.
Why I didn't hate that was because I think the ultimate thing with her is we love her. Every fan loves her and wants to see her win. So by doing the underdog stuff, this part of her career isn't a terrible move, but they need to continue to progress that, though. They need to give her wins when the times come as well. I don't know. I don't want to say Jeff Hardy-esque, but
interesting.
Do you know what I mean? The same, my opinion about Jeff, when Jeff was like the scrawny wrestler versus like Undertaker, Triple H, all these other guys that would just look like monsters compared to him, and he was going to get his ass kicked every match that he was in because he was supposed to be a tag team wrestler and a high flyer. And if he would like every time he'd schoolboy or roll somebody up, like this could be it here, you know what I mean? He was such an underdog. He had a natural ability to make you root for him as that underdog. Kaden Carter has that natural ability, which is crazy to think about. I never had that. No, I don't know many that did.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, she's a great look. The gauntlet match. Justin, anything stand out about this to you tonight? From Dakota Kai winning. Shotzi going the distance.
No, it was a good showing of what we always say. NXT has that edge over AEW, having a depth in women, and this also plays into the times and the circumstances. So many of the younger women that WWE has are based in Florida, so easy to get them there. Don't have to put them on a plane. So this really kind of showcased that.
Am I wrong? You guys tell me. Am I wrong for saying that NXT's women's roster is the best roster?
It's the best roster, male or female, in any division. The NXT women. I watch that weekly show every week. I will never miss an episode if that was a show.
I think. I mean, NXT's women's roster is great. The Raw and SmackDown male roster, top to bottom, is probably the best it's ever been. It's just not used,
but
appropriately. Yeah,
and maybe this is absence making the heart grow fonder, but there's not a single woman on the NXT women's roster, whoever I'm like, oh, her again, or oh, I'm bored by this.
Ever. Dude,
but Raw and SmackDown with the men, even AEW, there's some people I could go without seeing week in and week out.
That's a good point. He's right. You don't get that. You never get that when the wrestler comes out from NXT specifically, ever.
Yeah.
But to be fair, to counter Glenn's point, the women also only get
X amount of time.
1 or 2 segments compared to the men who get 6 or 7 or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
oversaturation. There might be an oversaturation eventually. That's how deep that women's roster is, though. I think they could do that and still be entertaining.
But here's the weird thing: as deep as the women's roster
segments.
What? Say that again.
They still could be. I'm exaggerating, saying 7 segments, but they could still do 5 segments, and I think
you could
an entire show.
No, you're not wrong, Matt. You could do an entire Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, just the women, and it'd be fine. The problem, what's interesting is that NXT, Raw, and SmackDown all have deep women's rosters that are talented. But like, I look at the situation right now, they're trying to feed us and sell us a Shayna being a big deal, being a WrestleMania opponent to Becky, and it's like, you're trying to make Shayna seem like she's as credible as Ronda Rousey was in the MMA world, and Shayna's as credible as Charlotte is in the pro wrestling world, and she falls short of both. That's what's so stunning to me is they're trying to make Shayna the number one contender for Becky, who's the hottest woman they have, and it's not. I'm not buying it, and they have all these other women, and I'm like, could you have tried with anybody else?
They have screwed up when the women are left to their devices with is Hunter calling the shots for NXT. They are presented as much bigger deals, much bigger superstars than when those NXT girls get called up to work in a cross-brand match, like versus Charlotte at WrestleMania with what's her name?
Rhea.
Yeah.
Rhea was white hot. There was no reason for they screwed it up from day one. They should have from day one had Charlotte be going after that NXT title, because this, in my opinion, is the girl that's knocking on my door as the best women's wrestler in the game today, and I need to put her out now. And I want your title along the way. That should have been the promo.
Yeah.
Would have made the NXT title felt bigger and a better deal. It would have given the true tip of the cap to the NXT women's division by having Charlotte Flair, the so-called best women's wrestler in the world, want that title because it's that meaningful to her, because Rhea has it, which ups her as well. They screwed that up completely. Completely.
No, I agree. Tammy with $5 super chat donation. Thank you. Saying with such a deep women's roster, they could have made some tag teams and done more with those titles. I think they still can. I almost think defend the tag titles in NXT more. Put some of those women there.
Yes.
But honestly, NXT's women's roster, I think, even got better when Shayna was out of the picture.
It did. Yes, it did.
And here's the problem with Shayna. It's like if you're playing Street Fighter, Matt, Shayna is Balrog. Nobody's favorite character is Balrog. Like, oh, well, he's a boxer. He's tough. He's like a good fighter. Like, yeah, that's not the character I'm picking ever. My quarter has never, even when I'm on a random and it's Balrog, I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to remember this crappy move set.
That's a good analogy. Actually.
Yeah. Jackson Callan's $5 saying LaBar seen every WWE pay-per-view from the 80s, but too young to see 80s hit movies. LOL. Much love, man.
Ooh,
thank you, Jackson.
That's a very great point.
That's why Rocky is the Rockies. I have to admit, Justin, Rocky is a stunning emission.
Yeah, I know. It's again, people are always surprised because I'm into pro wrestling and boxing and MMA.
You're a sports fan. It's a sports
I know. It's
fan anthem.
Here's the thing. My mother was a young mother when she had me. My mother was 17 when she had me, and she works shift work for the police. Still does. So my babysitter was Hasbro pro wrestling action figures and going to the store and renting Coliseum home video WWE. Like my babysitter was just WWF. So like Matt asked me, did I like have like a bad childhood? I was in such a wrestling bubble. It's insane.
So here's the thing though. That's where the advent of friends come into play. When you're at your friend's house one day, you discovered blank, right? That's how I discovered.
I mean, there was some of that
magazine. That's how
I discovered the Hustler magazine. I discovered Back to the Future. I love the Back to the Future.
There you go.
Movies. Wait, what magazine did you discover?
Hustler.
Okay, I was just like, did I mishear something? Nope. Heard it. Was it like a porn in the woods situation or?
Yes, for me, by the way. Yes.
A Hustler was not porn in the woods. A can of beer was beer in the woods for me. Yeah, that was.
Interesting. We got to save that topic for another night. We got more NXT to talk to, more of your donations as they come in. Seriously, guys, like this is just crazy. We're up over 400. Thank you so much for your generosity tonight and raising money for Culture City. Let's talk about, and Shotzi Blackheart. I like that they let her look really strong in this by having her make it all the way from start through Dakota, losing to Dakota Kai. So next week it's going to be Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Io Shirai, and Candice LeRae for the ladder match next week. I thought Bianca Belair was in that too, isn't she? She not?
We haven't seen her in a while, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Let's talk Kushida versus Joaquin Wilde tonight. What'd you think of that?
Love Joaquin Wilde.
Yes, sir. So what's the deal? So they had Joaquin he's another one that got kidnapped in the parking lot. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is NXT responding to the Dark Order? Are they like doing like a parody of where they have masked people hijacking minions? What's going on here?
I got nothing. I have no idea.
Vince is the exalted one of who's kidnapping those in NXT. Like, what's happening?
Kidnapping. I just think it's corny.
Kushida got that win. And we had an interview with Joaquin Wilde during the commercial break, Wilde expressing frustration over losing. An SUV sped up and almost hit him, and Mackenzie Mitchell interviewing him 2 minutes. Yeah, so he got abducted. The same man who took Raul Mendoza a few weeks ago. Let's talk about the triple threat for the NXT North American title: Damian Priest versus Dominic Dijakovic versus Keith Lee, with Keith Lee retaining. What did you think of this main event, Justin? You thought this was better than AEW tonight?
I did, and this
was.
Yeah, it was, and this is another example of this was an advantage to the empty building. They shot the intros to this different than they normally would have. They did the normal title entrances where they waited for everybody to get in the ring and then introduced, but they had Keith Lee, the champion, stand in the middle. They had the two challengers square up at him and stare at him. It looked very cinematic. It looked like something out of a movie or out of a theatrical play. You probably wouldn't have done this in front of a live crowd. It would have looked hokey. But because you didn't have a live crowd disrupting, it looked good. The lights dropped down. Then they showed some picture-in-picture graphics. They showed text giving like a tail of the tape, like a boxing fight. The presentation of that was good. These three big men being as agile as they were was fun to watch. This by far grabbed my attention way more than the tag match on AEW. I thought this was really fun to watch.
This was good. This was different. This was different for me. Usually my eyes never come off AEW, if I'm being honest with the fans at home. It takes a lot to get my eyes off of it and onto NXT. Tonight was the complete opposite for me of that. Yep. With the main event.
Yep. It was good. This was a good show from start to finish. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff I didn't really care about, but I think that women's gauntlet match, I think the promos, I think,
the cross promo, the main event, the women's angle. This was a good show. This, what do you call it? The very beginning, Velveteen Dream had a nasty promo after the whole show was good, actually.
I almost wonder, the problem is they're so far behind in the ratings and just losing consistently that just putting on a great show isn't enough. They're almost going to have to work twice as hard to make half as much progress, given what the perception is now.
If they do it this way, they put on this kind of. Remember, these matches tonight were not just all cold, right? There were some stories now that we're getting, and for the longest, all I've heard is how AEW. I've agreed with it too, which is AEW has more meat to sink your teeth into, if you will, with storylines and angles, and NXT didn't. Well, they're getting there now. So they got to continue the good work on this.
And that's every time in the last 6 months since Dynamite has been a thing, going head to head with NXT. Every time we ask Triple H on the record, you're losing to AEW. And his response has always been, I'm paraphrasing, but it's been some version of, this is a marathon. Mm-hmm. And so he's looking at the long term of, okay, AEW's doing a lot of hot shot things here and there. He's like, but this is a marathon, and this is long-term storytelling, long-term character development. So to what Matt's saying, that plays in tonight.
Darian Moore, $2 donation. Justin, have you watched Creed?
Okay, I did. The Creed movie that came out a few years ago, I did watch that. I did not. I've never watched the Rockies before, and my wife and I, we did watch that, and I just picked up and watched old Sylvester Stallone training the son of the guy that he had a feud with.
Lord.
I know it was.
They should have banned you from allowing to watch that. They being the computer screen that you watched it on, your TV screen at home. You should not have been allowed to watch that without knowing the history of that movie franchise. So you would have appreciated.
I know. I did pay my dues, Matt.
You didn't see Apollo Creed die.
I did not. I had to read about it.
Justin. He died in the middle of a ring.
That's what
a fight.
That's what IMDb told me.
Country supposed to be just an exhibition.
IMDb and Wikipedia. IMDb and Wikipedia told me.
And Rocky could have thrown the towel on and stopped the fight, and he didn't.
He didn't.
And he has to live with that. He's still living with that.
He is. He deserves to live with it for that.
I've seen Ghostbusters. I've seen Back to the Future. I've seen all the Die Hards. I don't know. I mean,
Good. Okay, those are all great ones. Good.
I think you would have your American citizenship revoked if you've never seen Back to the Future.
I
feel like that's America's movie.
I'm also an IMDb trivia hound. So any movies I've seen, I'm like a trivia hound. I can tell you all kinds of fun facts about them. I annoy the shit out of my wife with that, by the way. That's a little fun fact.
regular Cliff Clavin over here. Manny Laga hosts.
School with my mother in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Really?
Yeah, John Ratzenberger. Yeah.
Yes, very interesting. Manny Lagos, $10. If you can make dream matches from any company in wrestling, what would they be? Like from any company?
I don't know what we're asking here. The Lego
like
part.
A dream match.
What? If you all can make a dream matches from any company in wrestling. Have we seen them all? What have we not seen? Sting, Taker in their prime, maybe?
Yeah.
I would love to see Stone Cold and Cena. You talk about two flag bearers of an era, and they don't have to do much. They don't have to do much at all.
To the newer age, Rock, and 2 more years from now, Velveteen Dream.
Ooh.
Where he's totally, there is no holes in his stuff, which there isn't right now, by the way. But he'll be that much more confident 2 years from now with his gimmick and his character. The promos he could cut on Rock and Rock back would be frigging money. I don't even know if I'd want to wrestle. I think I'd just be cool with promo after promo after promo on one another.
Oh, no, I want to see The Rock versus MJF in the promo off. That would be
good too. Yeah, that really would.
MJF would get buried in that.
He would, but I think I'll give him the 2 years from now rule too. 2 more years to mature into his character a little bit more and get some more main event experience.
MJF is good, but he also benefits from having like TNT and AEW give him wide parameters to say a lot of things. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like The Rock said things, but The Rock said things in innuendo. MJF has to use a lot of curse words and a lot of like just blunt.
The Rock talked about eating pie.
Yeah, it's an innuendo.
Is it? What's wrong with? I just thought you really loved pie.
That's not even attempting to.
It was an innuendo versus saying what he actually said.
Come on, that's an innuendo though.
That's an innuendo.
I mean,
it's sexual innuendo.
Also,
Poontang pie is sexual innuendo.
Is that innuendo at that point? I think that's just calling.
Look at Matt's face. He hasn't heard poontang pie here.
It's calling it what it is what it is.
And it's weird too. I have to say, like, I love a lot of
that point.
I love curse words. I've always hated that. I thought like that's like the lamest sexual slang. I've never
poontang your ass on out of here. That's a great line that he once ever said.
Well, like if any of us said that in that area, we'd people like our friends be like, "What? That's corny. Why'd you say that word?" But because The Rock says it, it somehow worked. Yeah, seriously, think about that time, Glenn. You're right.
Oh yeah,
that was like a corny word to use. Like,
yeah, that was like your inappropriate gym teacher. Like that's the sort of pep talk that he gives the boys after like a health class.
What, pie or poontang?
He's exactly right. What he just explained, that the type of person that would use that word thinking they're cool and hip, but they're like still 20 years, behind the times. Yeah. Neighbor of yours, or if you will, or the gym class.
With a mullet working on Trans Am. Like wants to tell you a little bit about the ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Painted a perfect picture, Glenn, of the person that would use that word. And now insert Rocky Maivia, who's cooler than the other side of the pillow, could say whatever he wants, and everyone thinks it's cool, including me and you and everyone else.
Yeah, just make it work. Justin Lopez, $1.99. The guy alone had a feud with Facepalm. That's how you described Apollo. The guy Stallone had a feud.
What? That's all I know from my history. Yeah. That's all I saw.
Amp Williams, $5. Thanks, guys, for doing this. Matt, my 5-year-old Dylan is also nonverbal autistic, so this really means a lot.
That's awesome.
Hi, Dylan.
Okay, so we're gonna do some news. We got a couple stories, but if you want to get some super chat donations in, we're gonna keep this going probably for at least 10 or 15 more minutes. So if you want to get those donations in, well, Matt's looking. Matt's like, "Good Lord, I signed up for this charity thing."
We're not doing 10 or 15 more minutes.
Get some donations in, and we'll keep the show going. Now's your last call for donations. If you're listening to this late, go to culturecity.org/donate. Disco Scotty, $5. Do you think WWE will be affected by Governor DeSantis' stay-at-home order for Florida?
Yeah. No, Disco, because as you heard at the beginning of the show, you probably missed it, but WWE already filmed its WrestleMania matches. They pre-taped them. So no.
I think they'll be affected in the sense of
Afterwards.
this might finally handcuff Vince McMahon to taking time off, which he would hate, but this might finally do it.
Yeah.
All right, so some news. So we're on the road to WrestleMania. It's crazy. I was supposed to be on a plane tomorrow going to Tampa to see you, two fine gentlemen.
Yeah.
This past week's Monday Night Raw. Think about this, gentlemen. This was the worst go-home Monday Night Raw ever to a WrestleMania. This was the worst first to third hour drop ever. This past week's Monday Night Raw drew an average viewership of 1.9 million viewers, according to ShowBuzz Daily. Hour 1 did 2.1. Hour 2 did 1.9. Hour 3, 1.6. That is a million. That is a 23% drop from hour 1 to hour 3. Mm-hmm. So on the go-home final hour to WrestleMania, again, WrestleMania in quotations because this is kind of WrestleMania, right. The worst. So think about that for a second. The other talk, we're talking about taking time off. This is a story we have on Wrestling Inc. right now. Everybody can go on and get the full story. But as noted earlier, Governor DeSantis, the stay-at-home order to try to slow what's going on here with this virus. And so right now it looks like that it's very possible that WWE, because of the situation, WWE could reconsider and take a break after WrestleMania 36. This according to WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes has been very accurate and on top of things in the last couple of years. That's why we are crediting them and taking this with a certain amount of credibility. They have filmed, like I said, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown that would air next week. But if it gets to the point where they can't go back to the Performance Center and film more content through the rest of April, if they truly are going to have to take some time off and just rely on studio shows or recaps, this might change them airing what they've already shot. So, for example, if they're going to air something, whether it's Brock Celebration, Drew Celebration, whatever, but they're not going to be able to follow up on it on new programming, then they might have to, get rid of some stuff they've already shot and totally call an audible here. So I know I'll be with you guys, I think, this Saturday night for WrestleMania for night 1. I'll be with you guys Friday night after SmackDown. A lot is going to change here day to day as this pandemic changes, and WWE might be in risk for the first time ever of taking some time off here.
Good. They need to. Next.
I agree. Yeah. That's it. That's what I got.
Glenn Lipkin, $9.99 for a good cause. Shout out to MPC. Darian Moore, $5. Dream Match Shield versus Wyatt's versus Evolution in War Games. That would be
pretty cool. Yeah.
Hell of a match. Let's see. We got Ninja Skills 2 Real, $10. Great show. Great cause. Keep it going, guys. Yeah, this is crazy tonight, guys. I mean, seriously, when we talked about doing this, I was like, oh, maybe we'll raise like $100, maybe $200, $457 so far. Now YouTube's going to take a cut of that. But to sweeten the deal, and because you guys are so incredibly awesome, I just made a $100 donation to Culture City right there on the screen. There's the proof. So I'll add that to everything you guys contributed tonight in the chat. And Raj is going to take care of getting them that money. But great cause. If you're hearing this later, go to culturecity.org. That's KULTURE city.org/donate to make a donation. Matt, you do a lot of great work with the organization. And just so glad we're able to raise some money for them here tonight on the show. Fethstar with a $5 donation, getting in under the wire here. If there was a break, will you got classic shows and pay-per-views to keep us going?
I think, yes, we absolutely should be doing that.
Yeah. Raj saying his super chat didn't go through, but add $100 from him also. So there you go.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you all that put money into this. They actually put it into exactly. So sometimes I don't mean to talk down about other nonprofits and whatnot, but this nonprofit, everything you put in towards it literally goes out toward the kids that need this type of, like I was telling you earlier, noise canceling headphones. Like I gave you my son's first experience at a zoo. That might not seem like a big deal to some of you guys, but imagine with an autistic kid and my kid specifically, when he goes to the zoo, right, all he sees is colors and noises, right? And so what that does is it overdoes his entire senses, so much so that he wants to take his head and just bury it into my leg so he doesn't have to see it anymore or hear it anymore. All right. And then I got to pick him up and walk him out of there, bring him back to the car, and start what would look like a manual massage up and down his arms, up and down his legs, up and down his arms, up and down his legs. And that provides compression, and it centers him. Then we go try it again, and it happens again. So something as simple as noise canceling headphones might seem like not that big of a deal, but it made my kid, because of Culture City doing something like that, being that thoughtful of training the entire Central Florida Zoo, one of the biggest Florida zoos we have in the state of Florida, on how to deal with kids having meltdowns with autism, and give them the tools that they need to be able to watch and go out and see a monkey for the first time, see a giraffe for the first time. My kid had only seen those in cartoons. He's never seen these in real life, and he's 6 years old until this year, because we only went because Culture City did something like that, thinking outside the box to give them these Culture City bags to be able to go into that. That's just one very myopic view I'm giving you guys of just my world. There's millions of others that could tell you similar stories like that. So every time you guys put into, you just help some child with autism, in this case, from my point of view, to discover something that they would normally never have a shot in hell of maybe not being able to discover without having those meltdowns, having to take their parents have to take them home and not be able to get through maybe an Orlando Magic game, a hockey game, camping, you name it. So thank you all very, very, very much.
And wrestling events like we're seeing with AEW and their partnership with AEW.
Yeah. And just to further what Matt said, I have two children myself, ages 5 and 2. Neither are autistic. But to further what Matt's saying, neither are autistic, but especially in this time where we're isolated and we're taken out of rhythms, whether it be school or daycares or just having play dates with friends, they're very disrupted by, hey, I miss my friends, or hey, I want to go do this, and having to explain to them this virus that's going on. So when I think about that, and I think about parents and Matt's situation, of even more sensitivity to a routine and to disruption of that. What we did tonight, we all have fun talking wrestling and bust each other's balls, but you guys raising the money that you did, and that goes towards all the things Matt's talking about, programs and equipment like noise canceling headphones. That is such a huge thing right now in this time where we all have to be in it together in the world. So that's huge.
Furthermore, even beyond that, I mean, one last point, it also really benefits families that want to go out and have these experiences, because a lot of autistic children and kids on the spectrum do experience separation anxiety. They want to be around their parents. They want to be around their moms, their dads. So if you're a wrestling fan, you have a child, this allows them to go and enjoy it with you. Whereas before you might have to separate from them. It benefits the child, the family. I mean, it's just such a great cause. Love the work that they're doing. Glad we could raise some money for them. Glad to donate. And we're going to be back here Friday night to talk about SmackDown, the official go home for WrestleMania, the strangest WrestleMania weekend ever. Truly, hopefully once in a lifetime, we will never have this extreme of a situation again. But we'll be back. The chat room is like, some people so in the chat just have to put Anaconda Vice is like, Raj never saw Goonies. WTF? It's like, this has become the meme of the show, Matt. This has become the overwhelming running joke in the wrestling.
The meme of a good exclamation mark. You just had an opportunity to close this show with, but you just had to bring up.
I had to go to it. I had to go out on the Goonies.
Series on the show every once in a while. We should have ended it there, but ADD Glenn over here had to allow you guys to continue to.
Because I'm looking at the chat room. I'm looking at the chat room.
We're bottom line is this, because I'll be the one to close it. We're honored to have Dr. Julian Maha on here. What that man and his organization does is legitimately changing people's lives, changing families' lives. Every single one, both of these gentlemen on this podcast with me, wear their heart on their sleeve, just like I do, just like you do that watch this show, quite frankly. We're blessed to have you guys as our fans. We love you all more than you'll ever think. You guys are family at this point. And the fact that you guys stepped up and delivered, we cannot repay pay you enough. We'll try the best we can by mocking and making fun of each other from time to time, talking some good old wrestling when the time comes up. But until then, be safe. Remember that every single one of us are in this together with this pandemic. And most importantly, we will get through this.